All right, here we go. Yes, I am still sick. Gosh darn it. Okay, we are going to be taking the deck I built with cards from the core set and the Angmar Awakens up against a quest. This is the Woodland Realm. This is one of the customizable scenarios that we got at Gen Con and Fellowship events where you can create your own encounter deck. So we got the setup here. Basically, we add the Spider Den and then zero cost cards, different ones. So the way it works is you can use encounter modular sets from the Woodland Realm and the Wizard's Quests and mix and match them. And then there's also two Moria themed ones. So in this one, we're going to be using modular sets from the Wizard's Quest and the Woodland Realm. You can see the 6 there. That is one of the modular sets. There are 28 total, and there's 5 encounter cards in each modular set. You're supposed to shuffle 7 of them together. So I have chosen sets 1 through 7, shuffled them together, and then in the bottom corner, you can see the cost of the card. The setup text says that the opposing team picks one different zero-cost enemy or zero-cost location per player. So if you're playing solo, you can't grab 2 cards that you think are the easiest. You're supposed to grab cards that the opposing team would have picked because you're supposed to play this competitively where your encounter deck is up against the other team's heroes and their encounter deck is up against your heroes, and it's a race. So I picked Dark Black Woods. It's going to be a 2 threat and it gets +1 threat for each other Dark Black Woods in the staging area. And then to travel there, this is the annoying part, I have to discard a card from my hand for each Dark Black Woods in the staging area. So that's annoying. And then I also picked these spiders. And now there are a bunch of zero-cost enemies that have when revealed effects, so those would be perfect to pick, but I figure an opposing team would not pick any of those since the when revealed would whiff. So this is the Spiders of Merkwood. It's going to engage me. It's got 2 threat, 2 attack, 1 defense, 2 hit points. But then after it engages you, you have to exhaust a character you control. So that's nasty on turn 1. We also had to add the Spider's Den to the staging area. 1 threat, 1 progress, immune. And then the opposing team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a zero-cost enemy and adds it to the staging area to travel there. And it's a 1-cost enemy if there's 2 or more players. So it will be a 1-cost enemy for us. All right. Captured by spiders. 1B, 10 progress needed. When Spider Den is explored, flip it over and put Mendor into play under the first player's control and ready. Yeah, he's in this quest. And then we cannot defeat this stage unless we control him. Here are my heroes. If you watched my deck building video, you will know these were the heroes I was going to play. You can pause the video and read all their effects. Of course, I'll be talking about their effects as we play the game. Okay, so I chose the customizable scenario because it's perfect. I didn't want to spoil stuff from the Angmar Awakens quest. People like to play them blind. I totally get that. And I'm really tired of playing basically one of the 4 scenarios from the core box in Dark of Merkwood. Obviously, Escape from Dol Guldur is not a good one to show off how a deck works. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to show how these decks work together, the mechanics of the deck, the combos you would get within the decks. So I just wanted to play a quest. And that's exactly what these customizable scenarios are. They're just a quest. It's a bunch of encounter cards, and they should present the opportunities for me to show how these decks work. I just grabbed the sets 1 through 7. I didn't even look at them. I just threw them together, shuffled them up. So I have no idea if there's any synergy in the encounter deck, and I honestly don't really care. I'm just trying to show off these decks. So the Dunedain deck is going to handle combat. The Iristor deck is going to handle questing and healing, and these decks work so well together. They're so much fun. We got 32 threat on the Dunedain side and 28 threat over on the Elves side. And let's take a look at our opening hand for the Dunedain. I shouldn't be able to play anything, to be honest. Okay, Ranger card to land. Feint, that's good. I'm glad to see Feint. Long Defeat, okay, that's nice. The East Road Ranger, I'm glad to see Gather Info, perfect. And a Sneak Attack. Well, I have the Ranger of Cardaland and Feint, which both will help me in combat because I cannot play any cards in planning normally with this deck on turn 1. I got to get at least 2 resources on everybody. All right, over on Iristor's side, we got the Silver Harp. Okay, the Hammersmith, 2 expensive allies. Ah, yes, Elven Jeweler. I said that's a card you're looking for. And Elven Light, that's perfect. So Elven Jeweler is definitely a card you want to see on the Iristor side. All right, everyone's got a resource, and we also draw a second Feint. Wow, okay, that's unexpected. That's great. Now, Iristor draws us 3 additional cards, so we get 4 cards total. We get the Steed, another Steed, Stand and Fight, that's kind of a bummer, and the Weaver. Okay, Stand and Fight and the Weaver were cards I was hoping to draw later, but That's fine. All right, well, I'm going to put gather information into the staging area, so if I clear that, I get to find a card in my deck, whatever one I want, but I'm not going to attach the long defeat to it because, well, there's no damage to heal anywhere on the board. The Aerostor deck drawing 2 cards isn't really helpful right now, and if I get a second lore resource, maybe I'll draw Glaewine. Okay, over on the Aerostor side, let's discard Elven Light to Arwen's ability, and that lets me gain a resource on her. So I'm going to put this token on her saying she did that, the other token saying who's first player. Let's play the Silver Harp. It's going to cost 2, and then after a card is discarded from your hand, you exhaust the Silver Harp, and you can return that card to your hand. I'm going to put that on Arwen. I'm going to play another Spirit attachment, the Steed of Imladris, and after the attached hero commits to a quest, you discard a card from your hand to place 2 progress on the active location. So that is awesome. Let's put that also on Arwen. So now she has her 2 restricted attachments. I'm going to discard these 2 expensive elves to put in the Elven Jeweler. Discard 2 cards from your hand to put the Elven Jeweler into play from your hand under your control. That's just an action. You can do that during any phase of the game. Okay, I think I'm good. Let's go questing. We're going to send Halbrad for 2. And then I think Aerostor, Arwen, and Eowyn? Yeah, let's send a lot. So we're sending, I think it's actually 11. I miscounted. Remember, I'm sick, so I'm blaming it on the cold. All right, we get a 2-threat Wolf Rider. When revealed, if there's another orc enemy in the staging area, it gains Surge. Okay, there is no orc in the staging area. And then the second card we reveal, because I'm playing 2-handed, is Despair. When revealed, until the end of the round, treat each character's printed text box as if it were blank, except for traits. Okay, that's actually nice. I can't boost the willpower to Eowyn, but I can technically keep Aerostor's cards. Nice. Okay. Yep. So I make 2 progress. I think I actually made a little more, but I think it's only 2. And then we're going to go to the Dark Black Woods, so we each have to discard a card. The Dunedain deck will get rid of, I don't want to get rid of any of these. I guess the East Road Ranger is probably the least useful card, but they're all actually pretty useful. And then over on the Aerostor side, I will get rid of a Hammersmith. All right, and now we have 2 enemies coming down. So this is what the Dunedain deck's supposed to do. Now, I have forgotten that everyone's text box is blank, so that's why I'm discarding a card. I'm like, oh, I might as well discard a card to Eowyn. I'm going to lose all these cards. And it's still not right. I think I still made 1 more progress if I had done the math right from the get-go. It's honestly, it's not going to matter at all. Okay, I am going to engage the spiders, and when the spiders engage me, I have to exhaust somebody. So I'm going to exhaust Barivore. That's a shame. And then I am going to put in the Ranger of Cardaland. So when you engage an enemy, you can pop this guy into play. So for 1 resource, I'm going to put the Ranger of Cardaland into play. Not sure whose resource I want to spend. Man, I don't know. I guess Barivore's, unfortunately, because maybe I'll draw Steward or the Heir of Valindial, and I want to be able to pay for it. And then I'm first player, so the Wolf Rider comes to me. Halbrad could have, well, no, Halbrad couldn't have used his ability because text boxes are blank. Yep, I just completely forgot that I revealed that card. I think I just thought, oh, it didn't add any threat, and it just out of sight, out of mind. I usually put a card like that in the play area, so it stays as a constant reminder to me. All right, let's defend 2 against 2. There is a good enemy to go away, so no damage there. And then I still have Aragorn ready, so he will exhaust and defend the spiders. So this is also a 2 against 2. No shadow there. Okay, well, I have 2 enemies engaged with me. So now I just wish I had the Heir of Valindial or something to benefit me from having these enemies engaged with me. And like I said, if I had remembered that text boxes were blanked, I would get to keep the cards that I'm discarding here at the end of the round to Aerostor's ability, because that card said until the end of the round, text boxes were blank. Oh well. Okay, so I had 2 cards in my hand, and I am going to save one of them with the harp. So it's really not that big of a deal, but it is something to keep track of. If you do get your text boxes blanked, Aristor gets to keep all those cards. I also should be shuffling in the Ranger of Cardalan. He should be shuffled back into my deck. So the card I'm going to draw for the Dunedain deck isn't the card. I'm going to realize I should have shuffled the Dunedain back in, and then I'll draw a different card. But let's see. I get to draw 3 additional cards with the Elves deck. So we get another Elven Light. We get Weaver. We get the Long Defeat over there, and then we get the Daughter of Nimrodel, which is a healing card. That's nice. And then over here I draw a Steward, and I'm really happy about it, but I'm not going to get to keep it. Okay, let's put the Long Defeat on Gather Information, so we can either draw cards or heal. And you might have noticed a color change. Let me know which way you like the colors. I have it where I have it a little more saturated and bright, and then this is a more dulled color palette. I'm not sure which way I like it better. All right, the Weaver is going to come into play. So she costs 1 spirit resource, she quests for 1, she can't defend or attack, and she shuffles the top card of your discard pile into your deck. So I'm going to shuffle in the Weaver I have on top of my deck. I haven't used Arwen's ability yet, so let's discard a card to give a Noldor character or Aragorn a resource. I'm going to give the resource to Aristor because I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try to get this Daughter of the Nimrodel in. I will keep her with Silver Harp. And then we go to the Dunedain side, and I play the Steward of Gondor, and then I realize I never shuffled back in the Ranger, so I unplay the Steward, and I give everything a shuffle. And then I draw a new card. The card I draw after shuffling everything up is another copy of the East Road Ranger. So she's back. All right, that worked out okay. I can't afford it. I really can't afford anything, but that's okay. I will get there. I said in the deck building video that the Dunedain deck takes a while to get going, and the Elves deck will start cruising along much faster. Okay. So now Halbrad doesn't exhaust a quest. Let's see if I get the willpower right this time. So there's 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. I make it 11. I'm telling you what, guys, I wasn't feeling good when I made this video. I just remember like thinking I need to start making these videos because they're not going to be relevant pretty soon if I don't get them made. So but yeah, I was kind of dragging. All right, I discarded a card to the Steed to place 2 progress. We reveal the Spider's Ring, 4 threat, 4 progress. While the Spider's Ring's in the staging area, each spider enemy gets +1 threat. And then when it's explored, the opposing team is going to find a spider. Okay, and then we also reveal Eyes of the Forest. Doomed 1. When revealed, the opposing team looks at each player's hand and discards 1 card from it. Okay, Doomed 1. And now I have to discard the card that is like the best. So on the Aristor side, it was easy because I only had 1 card. Over here, what card do you think is best? I think Sneak Attack is, because you can sneak in anybody. And Sneak Attack Gandalf, we all know how powerful that is. So I got rid of Sneak Attack. It's the one I thought to myself, which one is the one I'd be the most sad to see go away. Okay, so we're going to put 2 progress on the active location, and then 4 will go on the quest card. So we clear Gather Information. If I had put my willpower down correctly, I needed to discard a card to Eowyn. I probably would have just pulled back Elven Light and then discarded Elven Light or something. Okay, I'm going to grab the Heir of Lindiel out of the Dunedain deck. So now I'm going to have that card to get into play next turn and hopefully draw some Dunedain allies to put into play. And then over on the Aristor side, I have a decision to make because I already have 2 Elven Lights, so I don't really need to find another one. So maybe there's a card that I want to find in that deck that I can save with the harp. So Unexpected Courage is great. I don't need another Steed. I mean, I got other side quests. Protector of Lorien is good. Test of Will also isn't bad to save and hold on to, just in case another treachery comes out that is actually pretty nasty. I think I will grab a Will. So we're going to keep a Test of Will. So a Test of Will I'm going to grab, and then I'm going to use the harp to keep that in my hand. And now we each get to draw 2 cards, which kind of stinks for the Aristor deck because I definitely don't have anything to do with them. I get Stand and Fight in the Miner of the Iron Hills. Okay, well, No problem, I guess. Then over here, we get Send for Aid. That's awesome. And the Ranger of Cardaland. Okay, that's 2 really good cards. So I just drew 3 really good cards over there on the Dunedain side. Those are all going to be extremely helpful. All right, if I want to go to the Den, we're going to get a 0-cost enemy. 1 cost or less if there's 2 players. So they would probably grab something that would engage somebody. If I go to the Spider's Ring, it's when it's explored that we have to find a spider. Let's do that. So let's travel there. And then I got these 2 attacks coming, and they're both attacking for 2, and all of my heroes are ready. So let's defend here. Attacking enemy gets +1, +2 if it's a spider. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple damage over there on Halbrad. And then the other enemy is attacking for 2, so we're going to have Aragorn defend. No shadow there, so we're okay. Honor guards are really important. It's really important to get honor guards in play if you're playing this solo, because you need help with the healing. Okay, Barivor didn't do anything, so she can exhaust and draw 2 cards. So yeah. Look at all those cards I'm drawing with the Dunedain deck. And yep, it works really well. So the Long Defeat that's in its discard pile should be in the discard pile of the Aristor deck. I got confused who played that card. I'm going to keep Stand and Fight. After all that debate about which card to keep and everything, I ended up keeping Stand and Fight. It just lets me have a lot more options. Okay, I get a side quest, I get the Steed, I draw a Daughter of Nimrodel anyway, and a Northern Tracker. Alright, and then I draw Ranger Summons over on the Dunedain side. Alrighty. Alright, we're going to play the Heir of Lindil. Attach it to a Dunedain hero, and then you exhaust it and you reduce the cost of your next Dunedain ally by the number of enemies you're engaged with. So let's do that. And we're going to put in the East Road Ranger for 1. So it gets +2 willpower while committed to a side quest. It's a nice ally to get in for 1. And then I'm going to spend my last leadership resource to put in Send for Aid. It's 6 progress. And then when it's defeated, each player may search the top 10 cards of their deck for an ally and put it in play. So that is an awesome quest to clear, especially early game. Get a nice ally in play. The Long Defeat, I'm going to spend Barivor's last resource on and put that on that side quest. That makes me realize I put the Long Defeat in the wrong discard pile. And everything else I'm going to hold on to because I honestly can't do anything with it. Okay, over on the Elf side, let's put Scout Ahead into the staging area. That lets you search the top 5 cards of the deck and put 1 in the victory display. We're going to spend 3 resources and put in the Daughter of the Nimrodel, so you can exhaust her to heal 2 damage. So that is really good, and I'm going to do that right now before text boxes get blanked. There we go. And then I have another Steed of Imladris, so let's put that on Eowyn, so now we can discard cards and put 4 progress on the active location. So that's a lot of questing for just discarding cards. I have a resource, so I'm going to play Elven Light. So Elven Light is played from your discard pile, and then it draws you a card when you return it to your hand. I discarded Elven Light to get a second spirit resource, and I'm spending it on Unexpected Courage, and we're going to put that on Barivor. So that's really nice, because then I can use one of her stats, and I can draw 2 cards of her. All right. Quest time. Can I get it right this time? Okay, let's see. Halbrad and the Ranger are questing for a total of 5. And then Arwen and Eowyn are adding 7. And then the Weaver, 1 more. Let's discard a card to place 2 progress. I don't want to clear that yet because a spider would get added to the staging area if we clear it. So if I do my math, I think I got it right this time. 13 willpower being sent. We're going to go against that side quest. We're only up against 1 threat. Card number 1, a Forest Grove. X is 1 more than the stage number of the main quest. To travel, deal X damage to a character, each player. Okay, so that's just a 2 threat location. So now we're up against 3. And then the next card is a 3 threat Giant Spider. When revealed, each player exhausts a character he controls. All right, so these spiders have knocked us down for a moment. So I will exhaust Barivor because she has Unexpected Courage, and I will exhaust, I guess it really doesn't matter, the Jeweler over on the other side of the table. Okay, we have made 2 progress on the active, which leaves 5 to place on the quest, and we needed 6. So I will discard a card to Eowyn. I don't want to discard any of those. I have Aristor on the other side of the table. You discard cards from Aristor's deck. All right, there is a lot happening here. So first, the opposing team searches for a spider that is non-unique with a cost of 1 or less. So let's see. I want to find the one, well, I don't want to, but that one. The one that exhausts somebody when it engages you. That seems like the worst, so we're going to give the deck a shuffle. Okay, now the side quest clears. Now we each get to look at the top 10 cards of our decks and put a character into play. That's very convenient considering the spider is going to be exhausting somebody. So over on the Dunedain side, there's a lot of allies I haven't seen yet, so I'm hoping to get a good one. The one I really want is the defensive option. Oh gosh, Honor Guard's good. There, that's the one I want. The Guardian of Arnor is a good one. And then, boy, I also got the Bowman and Gleowine. Good choices. I'm going to take the Guardian of Arnor. He gets +1 defense for every enemy that I'm engaged with. That seems like it's going to be useful. Okay, then over on Iristor's side, let's see if I can find one of my big expensive allies. That would be the best. Those are the trickiest ones to get in play with an Iristor deck because they're only in your hand for 1 round unless you use the Silver Harp to keep them. Okay, nope, Hennemarth, there we go. Northern Tracker, that's not bad. Galdor, another nice one. Yeah, okay, I think Galdor is going to be the one I pick. So after I discard a card, once a round, I can draw a card after discarding it. So that's going to be awesome. And now we trigger the long defeat. So each deck is going to draw 2 cards. We get Sneak Attack and oh, that's perfect. The Sarnford Sentry. Then over here, 2 cards, Dwarven Tomb and an East Road Ranger over here. Okay, I do have Will of the West in the Iristor deck. So all of my discarded cards can eventually get shuffled back into the deck. Okay, what are we going to do? Let's travel to the Grove. I wish I could have dealt out this damage before I triggered the long defeat. So I got to do 2 damage to somebody on each side of the table. I'm going to do it to the heroes, and then I can heal them off with the healer. All right, we got 2 spiders coming down. So the one's going to make us exhaust somebody, and then nothing when the other one engages us. Okay, I think I will have the Dunedain deck engage the one that does not make somebody exhaust, and then the Elves deck is going to engage the exhausty one, and I will exhaust Galdor. All right, let's deal out these shadows. Oh wait, I forgot. When I engaged that spider, I wanted to pop in the Ranger of Cardolan by spending 1 resource. So let's pop him into play. So here he comes. And then we got some attacks coming. Okay, 3 attacks coming. The first one I am going to take is the spider that attacks for 3. And we are going to defend that spider with the Guardian. So he is defending for 3. And there's no shadow, so we're good there. All right, 2 more attacks, each for 2. Let's have the Ranger of Cardolan take this next attack. There is a shadow. Gets +1, +2 if my threat is 35 or higher. So I do need to take 2 damage. That's fine. He's leaving play anyway. And then 1 more attack coming. Let's have Halbrad take this one. And then, crud. Exhaust a character you control. It's just crud because I wanted to use Berevor's ability. So, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll still leave 3 enemies engaged with me. I was thinking of having Aragorn kill 1 and then use Berevor's ability. I think I'll just use Berevor's ability. All right. Let's have Iristor defend this one. Treat the defending character's text box as if it was blank until the end of the phase. See, I would have remembered this time. To the end of the phase. Okay. So no damage there. And then, yeah, let's just draw 2 cards. And perfect. We get another Guardian of Arnor and Gandalf. Oh, wonderful. All right. Let's go into the next round. It takes a while to do the end of the round stuff. This is going at 4x speed. All right, we shuffle in the Ranger of Cardolan. Everyone gets their resources. The card I draw on the Dunedain side is Gleowine. All right, more card draw. And then over on the Elf side, I am going to keep the Dwarven Tomb with that harp. And now we're going to draw 4 cards. Okay, we got Protector of Lorien, Unexpected Courage, another harp, and Test of Will. Yeah, see, this elf deck is just so great. I mean, you get such good options every single round that are going to be helpful. All right, I'm going to discard Unexpected Courage to Arwen, and I accidentally put the resource on Eowyn. That's a mistake. That means Galdor draws me a card. It's Stand and Fight. And then I am going to play the Silver Harp on Eowyn. So now I have another card I can save if I have to discard it. so that goes away. I am going to put the Protector of Lorien on Arwen, and that's mainly so I can discard cards to boost her willpower. I am going to do some healing with the healer. Let's heal Iristor. And then, let's see. Over on the Dunedain side, I can have lots of fun over here. Look at all these cards. This is great. All right, I think we want to put in the Sarnford Sentry because she can come in for free right now. I could also get another defender in, but I love popping in the Sentry when I can draw 3 cards. I mean, that's just awesome. So she comes in for free because the Heir of Lindial reduces the cost, and she's going to draw me 3 cards. Let's see what we get. We get Forest Snare, the Ranger card lands back, and then the Heir of Lindial. Okay, and this is where if you watched my deck building video, I would say that Barivore would just start saving up for these expensive lore cards like Forest Snare, because most likely I don't need to spend her resources on anything. All right, we are going to sneak in Gandalf in the quest phase because I need to drop my threat. That's the other great thing. Now I can drop my threat. I mean, look how many cards I have. So Gandalf is not a source of card draw. When he snuck in, he's a source of threat reduction. So I'm at 31. I'm actually less than the Elves deck now. And he snuck in at the quest phase. So let's send the characters on the Elf side first because they're first player. So that is 8 at the moment. And then I'm going to discard a card to put 2 progress on the active location, and that gets rid of it. I'm questing against the main quest. Let's start getting through this scenario. Okay, on the Dunedain side, Gandalf, the East Road Ranger. Halbrand does not exhaust a quest, so I think I'm sending 15. It looks like I get my marker wrong again and put it at 16. Not going to matter, guys, but I do keep screwing this up somehow. Okay, we get the Giant Web, so when revealed, make it the active location, return any previous active location to the staging area. That makes the Steed of Meladris really awesome, that, you know, we cleared that other active location before we revealed that. And then we get another Wolf Rider, and his when revealed doesn't trigger because there's no orcs in the staging area. Okay, so we made plenty of progress. We made enough to clear the active location, and we have placed more progress on the quest than we need. We just need to clear that location in staging to advance. So let's travel there, and this says the opposing team searches the encounter deck for a 1 cost or less spider and adds it to the staging area. So most likely the one that's the worst is the one that makes me exhaust somebody, but at this point it's pretty hard to pick an enemy that's too hazardous for either of these decks. I'm kind of already built, but remember, these quests are designed that you're supposed to try to beat them quickly. You're supposed to be racing against another team who's playing against your encounter set. So you're trying to advance fast, so you don't spend extra rounds building up board states. But man, these are perfect quests for me to just show how decks are supposed to work, because I can take my time. I don't care. All right, Gandalf leaves play and comes back into my hand because he was snuck in. And we have 2 more enemies that need to come down. The Dunedain deck is going to grab them both, so I'll optionally engage one, and then Halbrand lets me optionally engage the second. The character I'm going to exhaust is the Sarnford Sentry. I should have done that before. I dealt out these shadows, so let's get the shadows dealt out. And then, yep, there we go. I remembered, so let's exhaust her. I had planned on advancing to this location this round, so I kept her up. All right, the Horn's Cry. All enemies get -1 attack until the end of the phase. If I was in Valor, I could choose a player and they'd all get 3 less attack. But this is a good time to play this card, so all of these enemies, I mean there's 5 of them, are attacking for 1 less. That just seems like a good call. All right, Feint. Let's cancel the attack on one of these enemies that's attacking for 2. Ooh, there was a shadow. Okay, that was good to not have that one attack. Now, all the rest are only attacking for 1. So that's not bad. So let's defend here. I'm defending for 6 against 1. Shuffle the bats back into the deck. Okay. And then another attack of 1 coming. Let's have Barivore defend it. No shadow. She's fine. 2 more attacks of 1 coming. Let's have it undefended. Nothing. Okay. So undefended damage I will put on Aragorn, and then another attack coming, and it's undefended, and it's just 1. So that's what's nice. If you can really knock down the enemy's attacks, you can just take them undefended. If you had honor guards, you could really be canceling any damage. Okay, over on the other side of the table, he's also 1 less because it's all enemies. And okay, We survived that attack with the jeweler, so that was a good call. And then, yeah, let's kill it. So Galdor and Aristor can swing back and kill that spider. And then Aragorn can attack for 3, Barivor for 2, Halbarad for 2. The enemy gets -1 defense, and that is enough to kill that guy. He actually was decently beefy to take down. I'm still engaged with 4. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, going into the next round. Everything's working really well, and it's very fun. I'm having a very fun game here. This is extremely enjoyable. Since I have 2 silver harps, I can keep both of these cards, so that's nice. So let's do that. First player token moves over to the Dunedain side. There's my steward. Don't really need it at this point. It's kind of nice. You could even throw it over to someone else at the table if you already get your board state going. Okay, we get a Hammersmith, a couple dwarves here. Miner, another unexpected courage. Protector of Lorien. Okay, who do I want to pop in for free? Let's pop in another Guardian of Arnor. So he's defending currently at 5 and came in for free, so that's awesome. Let's save up for that steward. That's good. I don't need to do anything else. One more lore resource and I can put a forest snare on one of these spiders. Alright, over on the elf side. Always lots of fun choices. I checked my discard piles for any topmost attachments that I maybe want to pop in with the Hammersmith. Let's heal Barivor. Let's give some unexpected courage to Aragorn, and we're also going to give him the Protector of Lorien. Because 2 reasons. 1, you don't need all these enemies engaged with you forever, so you eventually want to kill them. And 2, Protector of Lorien and unexpected courage on him makes him a really nice defender. If I really need to defend something, I definitely have the cards in hand to discard to power up his defense or send him on the quest. Alright, let's discard the Miner of the Iron Hills. I keep trying to give the resource to Eowyn. She can't take that. She's not Noldor. I'm saving that resource for a test of will. I still have Elven Lights in my discard pile. It's so much fun, guys. It's so much fun to play these 2 decks together. You just have so many choices. Okay, I don't need to make any progress on the main quest, so we're going against the side quest. So that means the East Road Rangers questing for 2 more. Halbarad's not exhausting to quest. I did not send Arwen on purpose because I didn't think I needed to. So I kept her ready. I mean, I'm up against 0 and I have to make 1 progress. All right, when revealed, the opposing team chooses a questing character and removes that character from the quest. I mean, I could cancel that, but I mean, no one's dying or anything. So I will, of course, say the opposing team picks Eowyn. So there goes 4 willpower. All right, 1 threat, and then we get a second one. So the opposing team would pick the East Road Ranger, which is 3. And that means I am 1 progress short. And because I didn't send Eowyn, well, I did, but since I can't keep her on the quest, I can't place that final progress on Scout Ahead. So that's kind of funny that I didn't clear that. I totally thought I was going to. Okay, so the important thing is, though, we did clear this, so we get to flip it over. And look who's back. It's Mendor. All right, Ranged Sentinel, first player keeps him. If he leaves play, we lose. He's a 2/2/2/5. So that's a nice ally to get. So the first player is going to grab him. I no longer need to use my first player token. I can just scoot him around. And we advance to stage 2. So these customizable quests, you can pick your stage 2 out of 3 of them and pick your stage 3 out of 3. So here's the one I picked. It's a chosen path. The opposing team searches the top 5 cards for a card that costs 2 or less, reveals it, and you cannot cancel it. Okay, so let's make sure to pick the nastiest one. Tell me if I was right. This one makes you raise your threat. It would make me raise my threat by 3. That's not a big deal. This is just another little wolf that won't surge. This is bad. Each player exhausts a character, and then until the end of the round, you can't be readied by player card effects. The Enchanted Stream is bad, but you actually want that to be revealed if you're the opposing team because it stops you from placing quest progress. All right, yeah, exhaustion is what I'm picking. So I got to exhaust somebody on each side, and then you can't use unexpected courages or anything to ready people. That seems like the worst. And when Joe Holm, aka the Purple Wizard, and I built our encounter set and we played a tournament at Con of the Rings a couple years ago, our encounter set was the one that was the worst and actually won the tournament because we just packed it full of cards that exhausted people like this. And we always hoped to find exhaustion when we advanced to one of these stages. Okay, 20 progress needed. Progress cannot be placed on locations in the staging area. During the travel phase, you have to travel to a location, and then after characters are committed to the quest, no more than 5 progress can be placed here this round, 10 if Mendor is committed to the quest. I picked this one because the Elves deck maybe could have got some Northern Trackers in play, and that would have shut that down. All of the quest stages kind of have an ability that I didn't really think was that big of a deal for these two decks. It's mainly just get through 20 progress. Okay, dealing out the shadow cards. There's a lot of them. I actually forget that there's one more enemy. I'm going to catch that in a moment. All right, let's start defending. These guys are defending for 6. There's a good one to go away. All right, and another defense of 6. Yep, we're fine there. Okay, can't ready anybody. Let's defend with Halbrad, 2 against 2. Attacking enemy gets +1, +2 if I'm at 35. I am not, so just a +1. Kind of missing an honor guard. I wish I had at least one honor guard in play. All right, we are going to feint this Wolf Rider. No shadow. And then we have a little wimpy attack coming. So let's have, that was supposed to be on Mendor. And there goes the enchanted stream. Okay, so we're good there. And then there we go. Okay, this guy isn't attacking for much. Let's have... yeah, Aristor defend, I guess. And, okay, defending character cannot ready until the end of the round. All right, well, I guess it really didn't matter who that was going to be. All right, so Aristor is not readying, so I'm going to put that token on there to hopefully remind me that. And then, yeah, I wish I could use Unexpected Courages. That would be nice. So let's have Aragorn attack and kill. Everybody gets -1 defense. He is going to kill... Jeez, I don't even know. Okay, I guess one of these spiders. It's fine. I'm always worried these wolves are going to surge if another wolf gets in the staging area. I think those are the only orcs in the deck. All right, and then Galdor can ping this guy for 1. I think he's okay to stay over here. And yeah, if I could have used Unexpected Courages, I could have killed a couple more enemies. Okay, next round, we need to make 10 progress for the next 2 rounds so we can advance to the final stage of the game. Mendor is over on the elf side. Of these 3 cards, you know, honestly, I think I'll just keep the Test of Will. I'll get rid of the other 2, so I'm just using one of my harps. And then, yeah, let's draw some cards. So 4 cards incoming. Aristor's so much fun. It's like you get a mulligan every single round. All right, the Curious Brandybuck, Protector of Lorien, Hammersmith, and a Weaver. Excellent. And then on the Dunedain side, Long Defeat. Hey, all right. That's nice. Okie dokie. This is going to be one of those turns on the elf side where you do all kinds of crazy stuff. Discarding a card to Arwen, I'm going to give the resource to a Noldor character, and that is Aristor. Because I discarded a card, I can trigger Galdor and the Silver Harp. So I'm going to yank that card back, and then Galdor draws me a Silver Harp. I actually don't have a spot for that harp. I don't have any more heroes that's eligible to go on. Now I'm going to play the Hammersmith, and I can return the topmost attachment. The topmost attachment is an Unexpected Courage I got rid of a round or 2 ago. That Unexpected Courage, I'm going to spend 2 resources and pop that on Aragorn, so now he can ready 3 times, or do 3 actions, I should say. And then I'm going to play the Weaver, and she shuffles in the top card of my discard pile. And so these Hammersmiths are great to play multiple times from your hand. You can't use Stand and Fight to trigger their ability, but from your hand, you can keep pulling back some of these really good attachments like Long Defeat and stuff. Okay, we're getting healed up on the Dunedain side. Now I can afford the Steward of Gondor. I am going to put it on Halbrad because I have leadership cards in hand that I want to play. I also have this Forest Snare. So let's snare the spider so we don't have to worry about him coming back. So Bearivor is going to spend all of her resources on that. I'm going to play 2 Ranger Summons. It's a planning action, and you shuffle these Rangers of the North into the encounter deck, which is currently 1 card. Now, unfortunately, the backs of the cards don't match, but it's 1 card, so I'm definitely seeing both of those, so that worked out really well. And I didn't trigger the Era of Valindial, and I totally could have. I just forgot that I could actually have played that Ranger of Cardolan I have in my hand for free. Okay, Halbrad's not exhausting to quest. We're going against the main quest. Mendor is questing. and we are up against 0, and we just need to make 10 progress. So, oh, what do you know? It's a Ranger of the North, so he can place progress or deal damage. So when he comes in, I'm going to have him deal damage to the bat that's engaged with the elves, and then he surges. So you got to reveal the next card, which is, hey, look, another Ranger of the North. So let's put him with the Dunedain side, and yeah, let's just kill one of these wolves. I guess I don't really care. I'm at a state where I don't have anything to worry about. We reveal one. They are not going to surge. We have to reveal one more card because that is still technically card number 1. It was a Surgy Ranger into a Surgy Ranger into a wolf that tried to surge but couldn't. Okay, card number 2. Oh, it's Chieftain Uthank. Okay, pretty decent sized enemy. So we have made 10 progress. So we're good there. We can't place any more. We got 10 to go. And we don't have to travel because there's no card to travel to. And then I don't have to engage Chieftain Uthank, so I won't. I'm going to leave him up there. Let's defend over here. Here's Exhaustion back. We can't ready. Okay, so Aerostor went into this round ready, and I did that, or exhausted, and I did that right. And now the defending character that I just used, which was the Hammersmith, he can't ready. Okay, and then over here, you still deal shadow to enemies in traps like the Forest Snare. They just don't do anything. All right, we're defending for 4, and we're defending for 4. This has a shadow. Plus X, where X is the stage number. Okay, he's still fine. And now, do I want to kill anything? Yeah, I think I do. I think I just want to try to start clearing the board. I really don't need to keep enemies engaged with me. So some ready characters on the elf side take care of that enemy. And then I got the Ranger that just came in, plus Aragorn killing a wolf. And then, since I'm probably not going through the encounter deck anytime soon, it's okay to put these wolves back in the encounter deck. And I'm still leaving myself engaged with one enemy. Let's see, Beravor can draw 2 cards. We get Ranger Provisions and Healing. Okay. And then, yeah, leaving myself with one enemy is good. Let's see what the shadow was. You know what? Let's not. Haha. Joke's on you. Okay, I'm going to keep these 2 cards. It's a shame I didn't get to travel to a location to pop the Curious Brandybuck in, so I'll just keep him in hand. And then Era Valindial. Okay, not really what I need. And then over here, 4 more cards incoming, almost through the deck. Elven Light, Tomb, another Hammersmith, and Henemarth. So the Elves deck is pretty consistent. As you can see, I'm constantly drawing cards that you've already seen, but they all have really good effects that help me. I really wish I had a location, but you know what? My board states are awesome. I really don't need to play much. Let's drop a G and put in Gandalf at full cost, and I'm going to drop my threat again. So keeping it down under 30 is pretty awesome, and that is, like I said earlier, the huge advantage of having other sources of card draw is I can use Gandalf to drop the threat of a deck that doesn't have Spirit. And then I could play Long Defeat, but whatever. I could play it on the main quest, but it's not really needed. All right, let's discard a card to get a resource. I think once again I'm going to give it to myself as a lore resource. Galdor draws me a card. It's another Test of Will, so it's nice having these Test of Wills in hand. I'm going to pop in another Hammersmith for 2 resources, and I can pull back the topmost attachment. I don't even know what it is. Let's see. It would be a harp. Okay, that's not useful because I can't put it in play. And I got confused for a second. I thought it went into my discard pile, but it actually goes into my hand. I'm just going to keep it so I can discard it for an effect. Over on the other side, I don't think I had an attachment I really wanted either. Yeah, okay, let's go questing. 10 progress needed. Sending Mendor so I can make the 10 progress. I'm sending 18. We are currently against 3. Do a quick medical visit here and get Halbrad all healed up. All right, card number 1. Okay, it is the Dark Black Woods, so it gets +1 threat for each copy of Dark Black Woods in the staging area, so that's going to be 2. And then another one. Okay, so each of these are 3 threat, and then to travel there, I would need to discard cards to travel there. Okay, so I added 6 threat, and I need to make 10 progress, so I'm up against 9, and I sent 18. So I'm 1 short, so I just need to discard a card to Eowyn or Arwen or Aragorn. They are all sent on the quest, and they all have abilities that let me discard cards to boost willpower. There we go. 10 progress made. Let's advance to the final stage. The one I picked was On the Trail. So 5 cards of the encounter deck are going to get looked at, and it's going to be a 3 or less card, and then it's going to be revealed, and its effects can't be canceled. So the opposing team here, which is my evil side of my brain, I guess, is looking for the worst card. Another exhaustion. I mean, I don't have a lot of combat to worry about. These bats, that's not bad. Ooh, what's this? Each player must either choose 1 card in your hand and discard the rest, or assign X damage among characters you control, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Another one of these spiders, and another dark black woods. Well, nothing really that's going to break me. I guess let's do this one, because that seems like a card I would have canceled. So the Wind-Whipped Rain. So yeah, the Aristor side can easily just discard their cards, right? But, you know, I was planning on using them for, like, keeping them, because both my harps are exhausted, so I could have kept 2 at the end of the round, and I guess I could deal out damage if I wanted to. I don't know. I don't know which one I should have picked. I don't think any of those were actually that harmful based on my board state. All right, the card I'm going to keep over here is the Ranger of Cardolan. Instead of dealing out the damage, I totally could have handled the damage. Really wouldn't have been that painful. And then over on the Aristor side, I'm trying to decide which card to keep. I guess I'll keep the Test of Will. Yeah. All right. Kept the Test of Will. There we go. So that's what I did. Could have easily dealt out the damage. Decided just to go with the cards. All right. Let's take a look at side 3B. 15 progress needed. The opposing team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an enemy, adds it to the staging area, and places a resource token on it. That enemy gets +2 attack and defense, and you can't win unless you kill that enemy. So I know Ungoliant Spawn is in here, and I think that's the worst one. So yeah, let's get Ungoliant Spawn, 3/6, 3/8. Cannot have non-player card attachments or take non-combat damage. And then while it's in the staging area, you can't ready characters with player card effects. Yep, that seems like the worst one. So there we go. So we got to kill the spawn, and we got to make 15 progress. Now I'm going to travel to this location, but technically I can't. I'm supposed to discard 2 cards from each player's hand to travel there. The opposing team would have caught that, and that actually would have been a good reason to have picked the Wind-Whipped Rain, because I almost would have to take the damage if I wanted to travel. So we just have to assume, instead of having a 4 progress location, I left 3 threat in the staging area. I can tell you right now, not going to matter, but it is a mistake. I shouldn't have got rid of my cards if I wanted to travel there. All right, let's engage Ungoliant Spawn. Let's pop in the Ranger of Cardolan when I do that. And I don't need to engage Chief Uthink. He is 36. I know you can't see it. All right, so combat should be pretty easy. I think I'm going to have Gandalf defend because it's attacking for 8. So, I mean, actually, no. I'll have the Ranger of Cardolan defend because Gandalf can attack for more. It didn't matter. Whoever it was dying. All right, we shuffle in the bats. So yeah, an attack of 8. That's another reason discarding the cards. If I wanted to keep Aragorn around, he could have defended for 5, I guess. But I'm okay losing the Ranger of Cardolan. Or if I had to have lost Gandalf, that would have been fine. Okay, swinging back. He gets -1 defense, but he's currently +2. But I have a lot of ready characters with a lot of attack. So that will kill Ungoliant Spawn, and I didn't even have to use everybody. Because Aragorn participated in an attack, I can drag down Chief Uthink, and then when he engages me, the opposing team is supposed to find an orc and put it in play engaged with me. So I'm going to do that in a moment, but I wanted to make sure I got this right. So I readied characters of unexpected courage. Aragorn, Barivor, and Halbrand all can still attack, and with the -1 defense, it's just enough. And now the opposing team was supposed to find that orc enemy and put it in play engage with me. It has to be the Wolf Rider, because that's the only other orc we have in the deck. So I don't have any more readies, so I can't kill that Wolf Rider. But, I mean, obviously, that's fine. All right, that was very successful. We took care of the big baddie. The shadow over here was a spider that would have made me exhaust somebody if I had to reveal it. Let's go into what should be the final round. All we got to do is make 15 progress. Alrighty, this should be the final round. Another steward, don't need that. 4 cards over here, almost through the deck. And we get a Weaver, a Jeweler, Tail of Tenuvial would have been good. And then there's the threat reduction in the Elves deck, but I don't want to go against that either. I just want to get out of here. Okay, I'm going to discard these 2 cards to pop in an Elven Jeweler. I'm going to trigger both. Well, only 1 harp because I kept a Test of Will. I'm going to trigger 1 harp to pull back the Tail of Tenuvial. I'm going to spend a resource to find an Elven Light in here somewhere. There we go. Elven Light's going to pull back a... There we go. There's my Will of the West. So that's how you shuffle your discard pile in. So you always want to make sure you have an Elven Light in your hand when you play Will of the West because you don't want to shuffle them all away. You want to keep at least 1. And then, there we go. I finally draw a Northern Tracker, which I can actually afford, and then still have a resource for a Test of Will if I wanted to. Nah, I'm just going to keep a bunch of cards in my hand. I want to make sure I get the progress I need because I want to be able just to discard cards like crazy. This seems like I'm getting close. The Weaver will shuffle in double back into my very, very thin deck here. So there we go. Yep, that's a good shuffle. Okay. Over on the Dunedain side, all I have is Steward of Gondor. I don't have anything. So let's trigger Barivore and draw 2 cards. We get my 3rd Ranger summons. That's nice. And then I can pop in this Fornos Bowman for 1 resource. So let's do that as well. So he gets +1 attack and ranged. He gets +1 attack for every enemy engaged with me, and he's ranged. And then I'm going to collect 2 resources with Steward, spend 1 of them, pop in this Ranger, and then I'm going to shuffle without looking to prove it. There you go. There's your proof. It's hard to shuffle when you're not looking. So I don't want to know when that Ranger is coming. I almost had it. It almost would have been on the top. Okay, so there it is. It's in the deck. And yeah, let's go questing. 15 progress needed. And let's, like I said, pretend that there's 3 more threat and staging instead of discarding cards to the Steeds of Unladris just to get rid of that location. I shouldn't have traveled there because it was illegal. I wasn't allowed to. So it should be 21 against 6. And the first card we reveal is a 3-threat spider that makes us exhaust somebody. All right, I have plenty of characters to exhaust. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Actually, I can't do that. I didn't ready Aragorn. There we go. There's no action window to trigger Unexpected Courage in the middle of revealing. And then to the end of the round, treat each character's text box as if it was blank. I'm just going to cancel that. I don't want to figure out if that actually affects me or not because I have a Test of Will. So we only added 3 threat, so I should be up against 9. So I can discard 6 cards to Protectors of Lorien, 2 cards to Eowyn. So that means I could boost my willpower by 8, which means we place the 15 progress and we get the heck out of here. And yep, these decks worked really well together. I think I'm going to play 1 more quest with them. I'm going to take them up against the Treachery of Rodar, which is one of the quests from the Angmar Awakens cycle. See how it goes against a quest that's not one that I just threw together. Okay, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you see how well these decks work together, and you can see what cards you liked in them and which ones you didn't, and changes you would make. You can definitely build strong Dunedain decks. I just really think you'll have the most fun by having a deck across the table from you helping you with the willpower. It really helps make the Dunedain deck do what it's supposed to do, which is engage lots of enemies and handle those enemies. All right, everybody, take care. Hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to making the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.